The third layer, once they are matured to become a father or to become a mother, a special changes happen in their body and mind. Body is ready to become a father. New hormones have started working. Mind is ready to create the bridges, the relationships to reproduce. Mind is getting ready to create relationships. Body is getting ready to become a father or the mother. The hormonal changes creates many changes in their thinking system and in their physical body. But none of us teach or allow our kids to grow in a usual way. We neither teach them what is happening to them, nor make them understand on their own. We keep the whole thing just like a secret. You may keep it as a secret, but God is not keeping it as a secret. What can be done? God has already sent the hormones. The hormonal changes have started happening. But you are acting as if nothing is happening to your kid. As if nothing is happening. You are behaving with them. You are treating them in the same way. But for them, such a big change is happening. They don't even understand what is happening inside them. Between the age of 14 to 21, the moment they reach the age of 14, their body is ready for the relationship. But not only society never allows, society does not even allow. Why they are not allowed? Society never even gives an explanation that what they are feeling and what they are supposed to behave. Nothing is told, nothing is taught, simply they are suppressed. We don't even let our kids know your body is changing, your mind is changing, this is what will be your feelings, but you will have to wait at least this time. Understand and grow. We don't even give them this understanding. We don't even talk about it. Just a brutal suppression. Brutal suppression leads to perversion. When I say the word perversion, if the sex hangover is there even after the age of 40, be sure you are perverted. According to the structure of the Vedas, according to the Vedic Gurukulam, according to the Vedic system, after the age of 40, if you have the sex hangover, you are perverted. There is a beautiful sloka in the marriage ceremony. The 11th sloka of the Vivaha Mantras, which says, the husband is telling, in the 11th year of our marriage, let me become your son and let you become my daughter. I think none of us understand what mantras they are chanting. Actually, only Purohits get married. Never we get married, because you do not even know what is happening there. How many of you know the mantras which you have chanted? Any of you have heard, you have chanted this mantra? All Indian marriage, they chant this mantra. The 11th year of our marriage, let you be my daughter, let me be your son. The relationship itself takes a totally different dimension. After the 11 years of marriage, you are there just to care for her, and she is there just to care for you. Whenever she falls in depression, you give your shoulder. Whenever you fall into depression, she gives her lap. That is the relationship. If this has not happened, if this relationship is not flowering, it means somewhere some problem. If the rose is not flowering, it means there is some problem in the plant. This is the flower which is supposed to happen after the 10 years of the marriage. The 11th year of your marriage, this flower is supposed to flower. If it has not flowered, relationship is a flower. It is not a bondage. For us, it is just a bondage. It is not a flower, it is a thorn. Actually, relationship is a flower. If it has not flowered, be very clear, somewhere some problem. Because of the brutal suppression, we entered into the perversions. The first perversion which we face is start collecting the imaginations. Collecting the imagination and cherishing the dreams. The age of 14, when your body is ready for relationships, neither you are informed, your thoughts will now take a new turn, but you need to be aware, you need to work on your mind, you need to understand your emotions. Nothing is taught to us, just a brutal suppression. Don't talk, keep quiet, don't look, don't see. Only we think kids doesn't know anything. We always have a comfortable imagination. My kid is a very good boy, Swamiji. My daughter is a very good girl, Swamiji. She never runs around. He never runs around. You do not know, Swamiji. Sharp by night 8 o'clock he is in the house. He only studies. He doesn't know anything. He has nothing like worldly ideas. But only if you see from their angle, you will understand. Because of our brutal suppression, they start enjoying the imaginations and dreams. They start satisfying their mind and their body just by collecting the imaginations and dreams. That is why between the 14 and 21, 80% of the teenagers' thinking system works towards either collecting the imagination or cherishing the imagination. You may think 80% is too much, but it is truth. 80% of their thinking is either towards collecting imagination or cherishing the imagination. That is why the media and the TV plays such a major impact on the youth. Between the age of 14 to 21, any advertisement directed towards the youth, you can see will have a underline of sex appeal. Any advertisement agencies knows, they know the basic thinking system of 14 to 21, the youth. Any product directed towards them, any product aimed at the youth, you will see the sex appeal will be there. Even the Santro car will be with a female model. Anything. For saree, if you use a female model, okay. But for anything, it is advertised or marketed only with the female models. It is advertised only with the sex appeal, underline of sex appeal. If it is advertised with the sex appeal, directly you record it in your mind. Your Mooladhara records the whole thing. You don't forget it. You remember the brand name exactly. When you go to the shop, you ask, please give Lux. Because again and again, with the sex appeal, it is injected in you. It is actually being injected in you. Especially when you see the TV or a cinema, your logic is just pushed aside. This is a very vital point related to your Mooladhara, especially the Mooladhara of modern youth or our life. This idea has to be understood very seriously. You see, you have a logic associated with your eyes. Whatever you see, your logic actually classifies them. This is a rose flower. This is a mic stand. This is a chair. This is sofa. And this person is talking with me. This person is acting. You have a logic associated with your eyes. The moment you see anything, the logic separates them, segregates them, and you record it in your mind. The logic and the eyes are very closely related. Never think you are only seeing through your eyes. You are experiencing through your eyes. For example, just keep a small fire in your house and turn your face somewhere else. You will not be able to feel the heat of that fire. And then after a few minutes, turn your face towards the fire, start gazing the fire. You will be able to feel the temperature more. You don't have to go near the fire. Just turn your face. There is a simple experiment you can try. When you turn your face away from the fire, you will not be able to feel the temperature. When you turn your eyes towards the fire, same distance, you will feel the temperature too much. Through this you can understand, you are not only seeing, you are experiencing through the eyes. When you see movies or when you see the TV, when you watch the visualization, the media presented to you through visualization, the frame which is changing per second is more than 12 to 16 frames are changing per second. It is too much for your eyes. The speed of frame change is too much for your eyes. Your eyes can bear only 6 frames per second maximum. But the movies are shown with the 12 frames per second. Because of these 12 frames, your load for your eyes becomes too much. Because of the too much of load, the connection between the logic and the eye is separated. Please understand this one idea. It's a very serious thing. The connection between the logic and the eyes are separated. So whatever information is given to you, your logic never segregates them. Logically you don't analyze, just you swallow. That is the reason whatever showed in the movie, you feel as if it is truth. You know for sure it is just a white screen and play of colors. When the movie starts, you know it's a simple white screen and the play of colors. But by and by, in 10 minutes, you get associated with it. You lose yourself, you lose your logic. If somebody is crying in the screen, you also start weeping. If somebody is happy in the screen, you are also happy. Your emotion changes, your unconscious responds to the just empty screen. How much you are logical, how much you are intellectual, how great intelligent man you may be. But in front of screen, you are crying just like a fool. In front of screen, we are crying, we are enjoying, we are laughing almost like fools. Just in front of white screen, even though you know it is nothing but the play of colors, even though you know that guy is acting, you see suddenly in a movie, your actor is dying. You know for sure he is alive. You would have even seen him. But when you see the movie, you just let go your logic. You just let loose your consciousness. You totally associate yourself with that colors, with that frames, and you behave just like a fool. Imagine, by seeing, can your emotions be awakened even if you know they are acting? But here it is happening. Even though you know that he is acting, your mind records as if the whole thing is truth. That is why not only in the Indian tradition or in our country, almost in all the countries, all cine heroes, they enter into politics and they are successful. Really, because your mind records them as a heroes. Your mind, your logic never separates them from their heroic qualities. If you have seen them as heroes in the movies, you think unconsciously, even in the real life they are heroes. You don't bother about their real life. It is actually recorded in your unconsciously. Unconsciously you cannot separate that hero and the character. That person and the character which he played can't even be separated by you. Even if you are an educated man, man of logic, man of intelligence, in your inside, it is recorded only together. You cannot separate Shivaji from the character which he played. You cannot separate Amitabh from the characters which he played. That is why we always imagine them, visualize them as a heroes. Not only in India, not only in South India worst. And not only in South India or India, even in California. Today California governor is an actor in Terminator film. One of the popular film is actor, hero. That guy is sitting as a governor. I was shocked. Even in America this is happening. The California state governor is an actor and hero in Terminator. Because your unconscious is just put aside. Whatever is shown, you feel it's a truth. Whatever information is given, it directly goes into your system. Understand how dangerous it is. Your logic is just pushed aside and you are directly ruled. You are directly handled. It's almost like your watchman is killed. A streetwalker is directly entering into your bedroom. Your privacy is invaded. Your sensitive portions are practically raped. You are psychologically raped when you are informed, when you see a movie. Psychologically, you are actually raped. Of course, we don't understand the seriousness because we think it's a usual thing. The informations which are not logical, which are not practical, which are not usual in your life are just forced on you without even your acceptance or your permission. Without your permission, just the desires and the illogical informations are forced on you. It is just forced. Automatically you start imagining that kind of life and you start torturing your being towards that kind of life. You swallow the dreams and start living. Can dreams fulfill your anger? Fulfill your anger? It can create only anger. It can never fulfill your anger. You try to live by eating the dreams. Between the age of 14 to 21, the dreams and imaginations which is forced on you creates a new layer called cerebral layer. You start enjoying the life more or less cerebrally. Instead of living in a reality, we start enjoying cerebrally. You start creating how your would-be should be. How your would-be should be. And she is creating how her would-be should be. Your imaginations are created between the 14 to 21. Whatever best nose, best eyebrows, best eyes you see, all the actresses, best features you collect and put it in one form. Best nose, best lips, best eyebrows, best face, best body structure, and then the best characters you attribute. And from her side, she collects all the best models, best face, best body structure, and attributes all the best characters. She is waiting for him to come into her life. You are waiting for her to come into your life. Both of you are waiting with a big imagination, with a big expectation, practically impossible imagination. Because the source from which you get the data, that is an impossible source. You can see in Indian movies. Villain will be flying in a helicopter. Hero will go in bullock cart and catch him. By going in bullock cart, the villain will be caught who is flying in the helicopter. Collect information from all these foolish sources, illogical datas. From this only you collect informations and you create your own imagination about your would-be. How long you will be able to live just with the dreams? Layer by layer you create an imagination about him or her, and you are ready with the imagination. This is the last layer of disturbance happens to your Mooladhara Chakra.